Minecraft mobs and their weaknesses. How many can you guess right? Starting with the Ravager. If you guessed sweet berry bushes, you'd be completely right. Okay, what is the weakness of a turtle egg? Well, zombies of course. They will actively seek out turtle eggs to trample them and destroy the turtle. How sad. What about spiders and cave spiders? Well, arguably you could say the sun, but realistically a bigger threat to them is armadillos, as they will actively try to escape them. Let's try striders. What do you think their weakness is? Hopefully you guessed water. Yes, they thrive over in the nether, but they actually really hate water in the overworld. But what about these cute little pandas? What is their weakness? Thunderstorms. As you can see, the pandas really don't like the loud bangs of thunder and lightning. How are you doing so far? Have you got all of them right? By the way, quickly check you're subscribed and leave a like on the video. Alright, time to find the creaking's weakness. Well, there's 4 ways you can actually beat the creaking. First, you could build up 3 blocks high so they can't reach you. Second, you can create a roof like this. If they're chasing you, you can place down a bucket of water. Or finally, you can destroy the actual creaking heart. That one was a little harder, so let's try zombies. If you guess sunlight, you'd be right on point. How about skeletons? Of course, they also burn in the sunlight, but they're even more scared of the wolves after their bones. Surely you won't be able to guess the piglin's weakness though. Well, the piglins actually have a few. First off, if you take them to the overworld, they'll actually zombify rather quickly. They're also really scared of the zoglins and zombified piglins. But finally, and most surprisingly, they really hate any sort of blue light, like soul fires, soul campfires, or soul torches, or even soul lanterns. What about the buzzy bee? What's its main weakness? Of course, the bees are attracted to plants, but unfortunately, wither roses really mess them up. Let's try the endermite now. These little guys are so small, they actually take damage from soul sand. Who knew? Well, apparently this actually got removed, even though it is in one of Minecraft's official books. I hope you're doing well so far, because we're about to turn this up a notch. Which weakness do these tiny tadpoles have? Axolotls really do not like tadpoles. They'll attack them and eat them up. How about baby slimes? Well, in swamp areas, these croaky creatures like to chase and swallow up the tiny slimes. What's the biggest weakness of breezes then? Well, actually, it's just a really overpowered sword, or a bucket of lava. Surely wolves don't have a weakness, right? Wrong, llamas really don't like wolves, and will actively spit at them. Disgusting. So what is the weakness of camels then? Surely this isn't scared of anything. Cacti. Yes, camels. The ones that live in the desert usually end up getting pricked to death by cacti. Okay, so the big bad wither now. There's no way this monster has a weakness. Suffocation. Yes, you can literally spawn the wither boss in and suffocate it to death. Well, what's the weakness of fish then? We've got 2 main ones here. First, these guys don't do well living on land, and within the water, axolotls will actively prey on these guys. Back in the nether now, do you know the ultimate weakness of a hoglin? These hogs really hate nether portals, respawn anchors, and most surprisingly, warped fungus? How about iron golems? What is their weakness? Well, ultimately you can build up 3 blocks high and just smack them up. However, they are already slow creatures, so submerging them in water makes them extra slow. Time to go really easy right now though. What is the weakness of sheep? Wolves, of course. They will actively hunt them down and kill them. Alright, little bit harder now, and I guarantee no one can get this one right. Comment if you do. What's the weakness of the dolphin? Well, actually, it's water. Let me explain. See, dolphins actually need air to survive, hence why they come up to the surface. So if you trap them in the water, they will actually suffocate, believe it or not. Time to check on this blue guy, the allay. Illagers are of course its weakness. They go out, track them down and trap them in pillager outposts and woodland mansions. Let's hop onto this next one with rabbits. Its main 3 predators include wolves, foxes and stray cats. Can you guess the weakness of shulkers in Minecraft? Shulkers actually hate water and can actually drown in there rather easily. Time for the boss man himself, the warden. Well, the warden's weakness is its sight, meaning you can sneak right past him and not get caught at all. However, you can use his hearing to your advantage by also building a noise machine to distract him. Speaking of overpowered mobs, what Minecraft mob do you find the scariest? Comment down below. Right, so what's the weakness of a zombie villager then? Well, funny enough, weakness potions and golden apples will transform the zombie villager back into a villager. There's no way you'll guess this next one. The main weakness of a pillager. Believe it or not, his lack of ammo. See, pillagers will try to crossbow you with arrows, but what you may not know is, unlike skeletons, these guys can actually run out of arrows, and once it does, they have absolutely no way to attack you. It's time for the creeper, and this one's a classic, so you should get this one. Of course, it's cats. Creepers hate cats and will actively run away from them. But what about the hostile drowned mob? These guys cannot enter land while it is daytime or they will literally burn to death. Maybe you can guess the weakness of a fox. Foxes can be attacked by either wolves or polar bears. I wonder how many of you will get this next one. What is the weakness of a parrot? There's only one right answer for this, and that is cookies. In fact, they will instantly die from being poisoned. Who would have guessed? Let's head up to the sky now to discover the weakness of phantoms. If you guess cats, you'd be spot on. Yes, they'll swoop down, but as soon as they detect a cat, they'll get instantly scared and fly away. This may be the easiest one yet. What are Enderman's weaknesses? Well, they can't access crowded spaces, of course, but more importantly, they really hate water. In fact, they will teleport away as soon as they touch it, including rain. So what's the best way to defeat a wither skeleton? Well, actually they're also too tall, so you can easily kill them with this method. The weakness of a villager is zombies and illagers. Yep, these guys hate the locals, and actually on hard mode, they'll even break down the door just to get them. By the way, check how close are we to our like goal of 200 likes. Are we nearly there? Let's go back to the basics with chickens. Foxes, wolves and ocelots are always after that chicken meat. Maybe you'll know the weakness of squids and glow squids? Yes, they'll also suffocate out of water, but more importantly, Guardians, Elder Guardians and Axolotls are all after this poor aquatic creature. Time to get hot and heavy with the blaze now. It's pretty obvious, but water or rain demolishes the blaze, but this guy also really hates snowballs. Speaking of snowballs, can you guess the Ender Dragon's weakness? If you guessed snowballs, you'd be kinda right. Once upon a time, they were a great tactic for killing the Ender Dragon, until it got patched. Now, its ultimate weakness is beds. We've talked about turtle eggs, but how about actual baby turtles? Well, zombies actually don't mind baby turtles, and in fact, ocelotls, wolves and foxes like to chew on this little guy. So axolotls seem to kill everything in the water, but what is its weakness? Yes, Guardians will always try to kill these guys, and usually its regeneration is never enough to save it. Some of you may know of this magician known as the Illusioner, but what is its weakness? Although he can create copies of himself, the best way to defeat him is actually just by trapping him in a boat. Beaten by a boat? How sad. But what about armadillos? Well, armadillos actually get scared and curl up when they see a zombie. The piglin brew is next up on the list. Lava. Yes, a nether creature who lives in the nether actually dies in lava. And the complete polar opposite, the snow golem. This snowman actually hates any sort of warm climate, believe it or not, and actually melts in the rain. But what's the weakness of all of these undead mobs? Funnily enough, health potions actually cause these guys damage. Most importantly, can you guess the weakness of Steve? The evil Herobrine, of course, who's going to come after everyone that hasn't liked this video. He's waiting. Go on, TikTok. By the way, check out this video and make sure you've subscribed. See you next time.